Hello and welcome to a quick video. This is going to go over changing out your 2015, I believe it's 2018 C300 spark plugs. This is a W205. So before we start on the actual car, I always like to get the spark plugs ready so they are gapped and ready to go. So just for reference, this is the part number for the original spark plugs from Mercedes-Benz. The gap is 0.028, so I'm taking my little feeler gauge here and making sure that each of these are gapped correctly. And then when that's all done, I'm also going to put some anti-seize, high temp anti-seize on the threads just to make sure that they come out easy the next time. Alright, so now each of the spark plugs are verified as far as the 0.028 gap, and I do have the high temp anti-seize on the threads. Just make sure not to get too close to the electrode, but yeah, you should be good. First things first, let's take the cover out. Make sure car's not super hot when you're doing this. And then you'll find right here on the left side of the motor, or the left valve cover, your 4 coil packs. So on top of each of your spark plugs, you'll have one of those. You're going to use a Torx bit. I'll put the size on the screen here so that we can remove each of these. I might have to move this out of the way. It's just a little plastic cover, so we'll see if I can get them out without having to remove that, but let's go ahead and start removing the coil packs. Alright, so the size of these Torx bits are T30s. So I'm going to loosen all these up really quick. I don't know how well you guys can see this just because it's so bright out. And I think right here is the little screw to loosen this guy up. Alright, so I got all of the bolts off of the coil packs. I was going to remove the harness, but I just pulled the boot off, and it looks like you could just leave that on. Then you'll see the spark plugs. Again, I don't know if you can get right there. So they will be, I think the ones down there will be a little bit harder, but it doesn't look too inaccessible. So, alright, so I'm going to do one at a time. I'm going to take that out right now, and let's see what it looks like. So I am just using a normal 14 socket just because the these are a little tough. The spark plug sockets I have that have the little rubber grommet inside, I don't have one small enough for this. A normal socket will do as long as you have like one of those magnetic, as long as you have one of those magnetic wands. These are very long spark plugs, a little longer than I'm used to. So, go. Ooh, that's still kind of hot. Alright, I will go ahead and take the rest of these out, and then I'll show you guys the comparison of the old spark plugs versus the new. Alright, so here's number 2. Get that out. And then this one might be the harder one. So what I'm doing to pull these boots out, because they are quite difficult, I am using a larger plier towards the bottom here and just kind of wiggling yourself out because they are on there pretty good. So I do have some dielectric grease that I'm going to be putting on that before sliding them over the new spark plugs, but I'll do that here in just a sec. So I'm going to get these 2 in, put those back, and I'll do the back 2 here, because these ones are pretty easy since they're so easily accessible. I'm gonna see how hard it is to get this on camera. So I want to stay away from the plastic part down here. and I want to get the rubber portion. So it looks like this guy is kind of in the way. I wonder if I can start too high on this and break the plastic. But you know what? Let's try it down here. Alright, I think I got it. There we go. And just like that. There we go. And I can remove this. I don't want to remove this right now because my car might be too hot to remove that still, because it's the coolant line for the water to air cooler. So now that that's there, I'm just going to take that out. Cheater tool. Should be there. Let's get that out. Cool. Alright, let's see. What's the best way in here? You might have to go at an angle here. Almost. There we go. Cool. So didn't have to remove any of the plugs from the coil packs, which is nice. All right, so all the spark plugs are out, and if you look, they all look like they're running pretty hot. So I should have maybe ran a step colder, but for now the OEMs will have to do, and I'll have to figure out why they're running so hot, because they don't look horrible, but you can definitely tell it's getting torched. So I know it's been, I don't know when these were replaced, but they definitely look, I mean, they haven't been replaced in the ownership that we've had it, and that's been at least 6 years now, so a good 60,000 miles. But yeah, these should have been replaced 30,000 miles ago. Anyways, let's put these in. I have the dielectric grease, and let's put it all back together. So if you don't have the right spark plug socket and you're using one of these, all you gotta do is take the magnetic wand and kind of drop it in there, so that way it sits nice and flush in the spark plug well, and then you can hand tighten it. Again, hand tighten it with the socket. Before I put this in though, like I said, I do have dielectric grease that I like to put inside the boot, and that way it has a nice watertight seal. So I'm going to do that on all of these, and then we should be good to go. There we go. Cool. So everything's all buttoned up. Got everything bolted down. Tightened up that little bolt right there that I thought was gonna help me remove the wiring harness, but didn't need to. You're able to access everything. So just make sure you do a once over. You didn't forget anything. Everything looks good, and I like to move all the dirt, some dust, and the leaves off of there, keep it clean a little bit longer. All right, let's go start it up before we put the cover on, and then that should conclude this video. All right, now that the battery's hooked back up, go ahead and start it. All right, everything works as it should. Okay, last part. I should probably wipe all this down, but all right, everything is good to go, and hopefully that helps you guys out with your spark plug change. If you guys have any questions, leave in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.